come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this.
Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down, Henley. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Taking a shot for Samuel. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here's the Panthers punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Winston now from the 50. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Winston. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That's fielded in the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 5. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers' 5. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Here's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll run it with Jacobs. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Jameis to throw it. Completes it to Miller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ready? Flag, quick, quick, quick. 25 to line. I got one. Let me go.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. The catch made by Miller. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Jameis now on 1st down. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Showing it, showing it.
These two teams all tied after 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jameis again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, he's going to go for it all. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
On,
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Now it's the backup Greer. Taking a shot for Samuel. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Ready? Flag. Wait. Hands got it. Max, block. Right. Easy. Tighten up. Let's go.
This is Carson. A gain of 3, second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Panthers' 44-yard line.
Ready. White 25. Mike 5-4. Flip it. Let me go.
From the 44, Winston. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football, and we just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
They're going to try for it on fourth. Winston stays out there.
Under 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Check. Lucky. Green, triple team. Let him go.
Now Winston on fourth down. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. So right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Hey, Charlie. Check three.
On third and long, here's Greer. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Ready. Hey, hold on. Let's go. Bravo. Check 40.
throwing on first down. Henley eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaquille Barrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Henley. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Back to throw. Henley. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He sets up the screen to Jones. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. First down, Winston. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
Hey, check. 3 down. Ready, blue lady. We got 25 the mic. Easy. Hey, get the weight room. Hey, 25 the mic. We're going to play that up.
Again, it's Winston.
Go.
And that is incomplete here. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Winston. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play. Winston to Evans, 46 yards. The first down throw for Winston. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Winston. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Winston. Going for it all. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Get him! Get him! Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist!
On 1st and 10, Henley flushed out right. He'll try and run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
He pitches it out, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. Thomas has got it, complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 44-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Again, it's Foreman. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30, and down to the 28-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this one is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time. Got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Play action now. Winston. He's going to let this one go deep. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 21-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Greer. That's going to be caught by Samuel. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
To throw on 3rd down. Greer. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. This is Jones. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down run not going to get them a whole lot, maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Bucs on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action. Winston. Looking deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Brashad Perriman, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. They're following the touchdown now. It's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Foreman. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Carolina. A his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And the lead is now 13.
Makes the score Panthers 34, Buccaneers 21.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Watch it, watch it. Here we go, even. Rotate, spell.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kevon Seymour, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There was a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Hey, let's get a conversion. Watch safety green, watch safety. 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50. Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Motion. Let me go.
Back to it after the pick 6. Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw, Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
3rd and long for Winston. He's going to let it fly. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. One last shot now for Winston. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Carolina, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching.
Back up.